from the Worcester FFA chapter, and I will be singing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding this, the 8th General Session of the 96th New York State FFA Convention. Madam Vice President, for the last time, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the meeting room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The Reporter.
Stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The Treasurer.
Stationed by the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The Secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The Advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 2,006 members and guests in attendance, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this, the 96th New York State FFA Convention, duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented.
Oh, this is actually really fun.
I know. I can't remember the last time I did this, but I'm pretty sure that I couldn't touch the ground.
Have you ever really thought about how this thing works?
Actually, I have. This is just a lever on a fulcrum. For those who don't know what a fulcrum is, it's the point on which a lever rests or is supported and on which it pivots. Essentially, it is like a support system.
Wait, does that mean people in my life can be a fulcrum?
Most definitely. The people in our lives can be thought of as a fulcrum in the fact that they help to support us and pivot us towards the right directions.
Some of these people include our parents and advisors, which we as state officers get to thank during this session.
Today, we will recognize our members and supporters who have become fulcrums of change.
We will recognize our CDE LDE winners, honorary Empire degree recipients Matthew and Angela Wood, and Gerald and Barbara Wood, hear from our state winning Creed speaker, and bestow the Empire degree on 104 of our members.
We will also hear from our state president as he gives us some insight on perspectives and perseverance. Our state advisor will give his address for this year, and we as a team will get to thank our members for this opportunity to serve the state.
Finally, we will recognize our first place winner of the National Chapter Award, and during this final session, we will install our new state officer team.
This will be a packed last session, but during this time, we can find inspiration to become a fulcrum of change, just as our new state officers will be for this organization.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for our final day of CDE and LDE results. The following competitions will be announced today: Senior Quiz Bowl, Floriculture, Employment Skills, Conduct of Chapter Meeting, and Parliamentary Procedure. And at the end, we will also be announcing our Farming Simulator game results. In the topic of Senior Quiz Bowl, in third place, Mount Markham. In second place, Warwick Valley. And in first place, Pine Plains. Good job, everybody. In Floriculture, individual results. In 10th place, Aurora Drum, Tully FFA. In 9th place, Paige Murray, Springville FFA. In 8th place, Ethan Hopkins, South Jefferson FFA. In 7th place, Kevin DeFore, Granville FFA. In 6th place, Belle Haynes, Cayuga Onondaga FFA. In 5th place, Caitlin Kassler, Cayuga Onondaga FFA. In 4th place, Allie Clemens, South Jefferson FFA. In 3rd place, Lily Underberg, Springville FFA. In 2nd place, Lily Darling, Tully FFA. And our first place finalist in Floriculture is Sarah O'Neill from Springville FFA. Floriculture team results. In 3rd place, Tully FFA. In 2nd place, South Jefferson FFA. And our first place team is Springville FFA. Good job, everybody, and good luck at nationals. Employment skills. In 6th place, Lindsay Wright, Delaware Academy FFA. In 5th place, Sarah Cox, Warsaw FFA. In 4th place, Anna Bliss, Fillmore FFA. In 3rd place, Michaela Stevens, Carthage FFA. In 2nd place, Aiden Ainsley, Mount Markham FFA. And our first place individual in employment skills is Rebecca Coombe, Tri-Valley FFA. Good job, everybody. Conduct of chapter meeting, team results. In 6th place, Pioneer. In 5th place, Greenville FFA. In 4th place, Stockbridge Valley FFA. In 3rd place, Pavilion FFA. In 2nd place, Schuylerville FFA. And our first place team is Lowville FFA. Good job, everybody, and good luck at nationals. Parliamentary procedure, team results. In 5th place, Warwick Valley. In 4th place, Greenville FFA. In third place, Stockbridge Valley FFA. In second place, South Jefferson FFA. And our first place team advancing to nationals is Pioneer FFA. Our farming simulator results for the student division. In 10th place, Jade Lowe, John Bown FFA. In 9th place, Thomas Kantz, Warwick Valley FFA. In 8th place, Brock Plungus, Mount Markham FFA. In 7th place, Daisy Benola, John Bown FFA. In 6th place, Kelsey Makuch, Mount Markham FFA. In 5th place, Gabe Smith, Stockbridge Valley FFA. In 4th place, Elizabeth Kakihas, Mount Markham FFA. In 3rd place, Bryce Akama, Marathon FFA. In 2nd place, Laura Winks, Cayuga Onondaga BOCES FFA. In 1st place, Daniele Schriebler, Mount Markham FFA. Congratulations, everybody, and good job. Our farming simulator results advisor division. In 6th place, Aaron Smith, Stockbridge Valley FFA. In 5th place, Linda Weinstein, John Bown FFA. In 4th place, Debbie Kahn, Granville FFA. In 3rd place, Katie Hopkins, Cayuga Onondaga FFA. In 2nd place, Tara Boresic, Tri-Valley FFA. In 1st place, Carly Bozzard, Penn Yan FFA. Good job, everybody. And thank you so much for participating throughout convention.
The next individuals have helped so many people along their way and have created countless links throughout their life. Please help us in recognizing our honorary Empire degree recipients.
It is easy to say that the DeRuyter FFA chapter would not be what it is today without the support from Matthew and Angela Wood. Their time dedicated to this program has continued to make the chapter stronger, has provided more opportunities for its members, and gained more community support, all because of these two. Matthew and Angela have 3 children, Austin, Ryan, and Sarah, who have all been active members of the DeRuyter FFA, and who wouldn't be nearly as successful if it wasn't for the help from their parents. They also played a critical role in developing their DeRuyter alumni and supporters group for their chapter and dedicate many hours to the chapter's Maple program. They are willing to lend a helping hand not only to their own children, but for any member of the DeRuyter FFA chapter.
I'd like to congratulate my parents, Angela and Matthew Wood, on receiving their honorary Empire degree. My mom has gone on numerous trips and has been such an important role in our FFA. She's served as a co-president for our alumni and supporters group, and she has helped so many kids, including myself and my brothers, with our fundraisers. A little message from the FFA says, "We would like to thank you for your time and assistance and unending support of the chapter and its members. We are so fortunate to have community members like you who serve as such a wonderful example of a living agriculturally based lifestyle. Thank you for everything you do. We cannot thank you enough." Thank you.
On behalf of New York FFA, I want to extend our congratulations to Mr. Matthew Wood and Mrs. Angela Wood on receiving your honorary Empire degrees.
Parents and grandparents can be the backbone of an FFA member's experience. When we are out front receiving plaques and shaking hands, they stand proudly behind the camera. Gerald and Barbara Wood have had multiple grandchildren participate in the DeRuyter FFA chapter, including Austin, Ryan, and now Sarah. They are constant supporters of not only their own grandchildren, but the program as a whole. Whether it be helping with fundraising or volunteering at the Maple Producers Tour, their volunteerism is greatly appreciated. As grandchildren growing up on the family dairy farm, they have gained a level of appreciation and respect for the industry, all in part because of the constant support of Gerald and Barbara. Their granddaughter Sarah describes all of the experience that we had are available to us because of their hard work and support. It is safe to say that our FFA programs would not be what they are without support from community members, and Gerald and Barbara are no exception.
I'd like to thank my grandparents, Gerald and Barbara Wood, for all they have done for the DeRuyter FFA and myself and my brothers. They have helped all of us with our FFA fundraisers, any fundraisers that need help with adults doing concessions or anything like that, going on trips with us to be chaperones. A little note from the FFA says, "We would like to thank you for your time and assistance and unending support of the chapter and its members. We are so fortunate to have community members like you who serve as such a wonderful example of a living, agriculturally based lifestyle. Thank you for everything you do. I could not be so thankful for everything they've done for me, and they are so deserving of this award. Thank you."
Congratulations to Mr. Gerald Wood and Mrs. Barbara Wood on receiving the honorary Empire degree.
From singing to dancing, these next individuals will blow you away with their skills. Please help us in welcoming this next talented act during our talent showcase.
Our next chapter has gone above and beyond over the last year. Please help us in recognizing the next chapter as part of the National Chapter Award program.
The National Chapter Award recognizes an FFA chapter's ability to plan and execute an effective program of activities. Groups that qualify for the National Chapter Award develop strong students, effective chapters, and engaged communities, with focus on agriculture and leadership. They don't just excel at career development events or at community service, they do it all. This award honors our chapters that are dedicated to service and foster exemplary students. Each chapter does incredible things in their own way, and each chapter deserves recognition for their accomplishments. Encourage your chapter to apply. Our first place gold finalist that will represent New York in the National Chapter Award at Nationals is the Penn Yan FFA chapter. Growing leaders means having the ability to engage a community and thus strengthen agriculture. And the Penn Yan FFA did just that this past year. One of the ways this chapter grew their leaders was by encouraging them to lead a healthy lifestyle via a virtual cooking class. To host this class, members collaborated with farmers to access local produce and develop a healthy recipe. This event not only promoted health and well-being to the members, but also got the community involved in a safe, fun activity during the pandemic and supporting local agriculture by sourcing 73% of the recipe's ingredients from nearby farms. Talk about an incredible event. The chapter also held virtual field trips of local businesses for their members, attending the Today, Not Tomorrow conference hosted by the state FFA, and hosted an auction to help raise money for senior scholarships. To engage the community, the chapter partnered with a local farm to host a Carve, Sip, and Trivia event where community members carved donated pumpkins, sampled beverages, and played trivia on an October afternoon. The event was a success and did a great job bringing in community members and supporting local businesses. Great job, Penn Yan. Best of luck at Nationals.
Don't underestimate the power of our young leaders. Let's take a second to recognize our first place junior member who will be representing us at National Convention.
The FFA Creed by E.M. Tiffany. I believe in the future of agriculture. with a faith born not of words, but of deeds, achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturalists, and the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm, or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits, is pleasant as well as challenging, for I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life, and hold an inborn fondness for those associations, which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturalists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining, in the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself, in less need for charity and more of it when needed, in being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. Thank you.
Mrs. Maxwell, we've known each other for a heck of a lot longer than just the time I sat in one of your desks. For years, we spent not only the school year together, but also the summer showing cows with your kids. Though this may have been more time together than what you wanted sometimes, I am thankful for it. You were always there to lend an ear and to steer me in the right direction. For 6 years, you put up with me running in and out of your classroom, sitting at your desk, constantly having to remind me I should be wearing safety glasses in the shop, and road trips when I always wanted the passenger seat. I'm thankful for the years we worked together, and I will always call you my advisor and my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming my advisor, Mrs. Amy Maxwell.
Ms. Fuentes, you are an advisor, friend, and someone who motivates me. Your personality is what creates a change not only for me, but for many others too. Don't ever change that. You are able to shift my perspective on the challenges that cross my path into new opportunities. I'm forever grateful that you pushed me to compete in Creed my freshman year. It started a chain of events that led me here today. Like the time you said, "Excuse me, Missy, why haven't you done this or that?" All in good humor though. I will never forget all that you have done for me. You are very understanding, and I appreciate all the advice and encouragement you have given me along the way. I couldn't have done much without you there. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in recognizing my advisor, Ms. Fuentes.
Mrs. Robinson, this is the day that we both know we've been hoping for since I was in 7th grade. Even though we're not on stage together where I always thought we'd be, this moment is still something I know we will carry forever. Without you, I would still talk way too quiet and way too fast. You started my journey in love for FFA, and even though you have not been my advisor these past few years, I know I always have you to count on for help and support. It's been a long time coming, and I'm sure you've gained some gray hairs watching me over the years, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything. Mrs. Parrott, even though it has only been a short time spent together, you have impacted me in more ways than you may know. Thank you for always being there to let me rant about my day or help me prepare for a speech. Thank you for ensuring that I'm on track to be successful. Let's be honest, some of those scholarships wouldn't have been applied for if it wasn't for you. Thank you for listening when I needed someone to listen, and for telling when I needed to be told. I'm so thankful you took the job at Little Old Otselic Valley almost 2 years ago. I know we may not have the nicest or biggest facilities, but it's where I call my home, and I know OV is in good hands with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me recognize my advisors, Mrs. Robinson and Miss Parrott.
Mrs. Fletcher, When I walked into your classroom for the first time in 9th grade, I had no idea that I was in for the time of my life. Thank you for supporting me in all of my endeavors and answering all of my questions, no matter how silly they are. Your classroom was always the place I ended up, whether I needed help on an assignment, a good chat, or even a snack made from the random items in your fridge. Your guidance has helped shape me into the leader I am today. Some of my favorite memories took place in your classroom, and you made my time at Cobleskill-Richmondville High School so much more meaningful. Words cannot describe how proud I am to call you my advisor. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking my advisor, Mrs. Deb Fletcher.
Mr. Crease, thank you. Thank you for starting my passion for agriculture. Thank you for always believing in me. And thank you for being the realist I needed in my life. It's hard to believe that it has been over 2 years since I've had you in the classroom because I felt your continued support even after you've retired. Mrs. Bozzard, I am so thankful for the support you have given me even after I've left the classroom. I know that you are only a text message away, and I always enjoy our girl talks. New York FFA, please help me in recognizing my advisors, Mr. John Crease and Mrs. Carly Bozzard.
Mrs. Smith, while I may have met you when you were still called Miss McCaffrey, you have impacted me more than words can express. You have helped me to become the state officer I am today and the mentor I will be tomorrow. You have pushed me to do things I never thought I could do, and have helped me expand my thinking by always playing the devil's advocate. You have taught me everything there is to know about goats, maple trees, and those days are days that I will never forget. You will always be my agricultural teacher, my mentor, and most importantly, my friend. Mrs. Waldron, whether we are in the wood shop or at the National Convention tour bus, you always provide a good time. You have taught me to always think outside the box and strive for my goals, no matter how big they might be. Although you have a big voice, you are one of the first people to always support me whenever I am in need. Thank you for always checking over my speeches, for grammar mistakes, and inspiring me to step out of my comfort zone. I know you continue to push me even when I graduate school. Thank you to the both of you for your support and dedication to me for the past 6 years of my life. You have pushed me to do my very best in ways I could not do on my own. I know I am here today because of your help. New York FFA, please help me in welcoming my advisors, Mrs. Aaron Smith and Mrs. Patty Waldron.
I've been a pretty busy kid throughout the years, and I've been able to do everything because of you guys. Mom, whether it was flying with me to Washington, the state, not DC, or just a simple ride to Salem, you were always there for me. Though sometimes I think it was partly because you wanted to get rid of me, I'm thankful for you. Dad, I know that you took on a lot of extra work all the times that I went away somewhere, and I probably never reciprocated a lot of it. Thank you. I never had to worry that I couldn't do something because of my work on the farm, especially over this last year. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me thank my parents, Mr. Travis Ray and Mrs. Karen Ray.
La realidad es que has hecho mucho más por mí de lo que yo podría devolverte en el futuro. Pero siempre estaré agradecido de que estés a mi lado. Nunca olvidaré que estuviste allí en todos los buenos y malos momentos, siempre diciéndome que podía, que puedo hacer mucho más de lo que me hago creer. Eres lo máximo. Nunca olvides eso. In the future, there will be more challenges, but I know that I will be able to overcome them with you by my side. You are strong, hardworking, and patient for all of my reckless decisions, like the time I attempted to give myself bangs in the 4th grade. Thank you so much. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming my mom, Angelina Hernandez.
Mom and Dad, I can confidently say you guys are my #1 supporters. Thank you for driving me all over the state and country to show my goats. I know how much time, money, and effort you put into doing that for me and my brother, just so you can see us happy and successful, and I can't thank you enough for it. Mom, thank you for pushing me to do and be better. Thank you for always listening to me and being a lending hand when I needed a different perspective or point of view. Dad, thank you for teaching me to have a good work ethic, even if I dread waking up early in the morning. But because of you, I know it has to be done no matter what. But I also want to thank you for making me laugh whenever I need a good laugh, even when I tell you to leave me alone. Cole, thank you for always being there to laugh with me and take a car ride to just get out of the house. I know neither of us want to admit it, but you are one of my best friends, and I'm thankful to say you're my brother. I know I'm not always the easiest person to live with, but we all know we wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you for shaping me into the person I am today. I love you all. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me recognize my parents, Jessica and Eric Warren.
Mommy, thank you for always having the time, no matter what is going on, to come to all of my banquets, concerts, and games. I know that sometimes I may be a pain, but you are always there no matter what, even when I miss the bus and you have to drive me 45 minutes away for a performance. You are always there to listen, even when I'm talking a million miles an hour about something you know nothing about. Thank you for teaching me to stay positive and to stand up for what I am passionate about. Dad, words cannot express how thankful I am for all that you do. Whether it's showing me how to put air in my tires or bringing my computer charger to school when I forget it at home week after week. You are always just a phone call away. Between picking me up from rehearsal or letting me sleep on the couch, even when the game is on, you always have my best interests at heart. Thank you both for going along with my crazy schedule and supporting me in everything I do. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my parents, Jeff and Natasha Foote.
Mom and Dad, wow, what a year it has been. I am so thankful to have had you guys by my side every step of the way. From day one, and even before the interviews, you have been my biggest supporters and personal cheerleaders. Even as I got very frustrated with the circumstances, you taught me to take a step back and realize that we have made the most of what we're given. Thank you for supporting me throughout my time in the organization and being sure I was reaching my fullest potential and giving me the tools I needed to be successful. Rohaihu. New York FFA, please help me in recognizing my parents, Tara Farnan and Victor Burgos.
Mom, even though you have had to raise me and my sister alone, you have done an amazing job. You have helped me build a foundation of respect and responsibility that I cannot thank you enough for. During every baseball game and FFA event, you were there to cheer me on and support me no matter what you had going on. In the tough times, you showed me how to push through your situation and how to become more successful because of it. I know it has not been easy, but I will forever be grateful for every lesson that you have taught me for the last 18 years of my life. I love you, Mom, Grandma, and Grandpa. Whether it be riding in the tractor during spring planting or waiting at the kitchen island for freshly baked cookies, you have always brought joy to my life. Along with my mom, you have taught me that nothing comes easy in life and to never take anything for granted. You have impacted my life more than you will ever know, and I will always be grateful for that. Thank you for everything that you have done and will continue to do for years to come. All three of you have been guiding lights in my life, demonstrating what it means to be hardworking and resilient. Your lessons will live on in me and will help me achieve the goals I have set for myself. New York FFA, please help me in welcoming my mom, Tracy Nolly, and my grandparents, Jim and Gail Strain. New York State FFA, while it may not have been the year we imagined, I want to thank each and every one of you. You have given me a new perspective on a way to live my life, and that is something I could never forget. Every Zoom call and recorded video will live in my heart for years to come. Continue to inspire the people around you and push through your obstacles.
New York FFA, words cannot express how thankful I am to have had the opportunity to serve you. You have helped me grow into a stronger advocate and a better leader. You are the reason I strive to be the best version of me that I can. I will never forget this year, the virtual adventures that we shared, and the unconventional bonds we created. Thank you, New York FFA, for giving me a home, a purpose, and a family. My heart belongs to you always.
This was a year no one expected. I know I learned how to adapt to change faster and grew some real tech skills. Because of you, New York FFA, I have grown as a leader and sought to find new ways to adapt to the forever changing world. I will forever be grateful for this year's service. Thank you for helping me embrace change.
The Sea of Blue stands stronger than ever. We were able to face challenges together and get through all of the difficulties. From joining us in Zoom meetings or attending our workshops, we are glad to have seen the members' faces. This year could not have been possible without the support that we were able to receive from the members. New York FFA, I am filled with gratitude for the experiences I was able to have this year. Thank you for making this year stand out.
Although we all thought 2020 was the worst year ever, you have all given me so many reasons to consider it one of my favorites so far. Although the journey didn't look like the destination, I am thankful for this last year to have been the most memorable. You have all been a part of the amazing journey that has been this crazy year. I am thankful to have grown right alongside each and every one of you.
Though this year was not exactly what we signed up for, I am grateful for it. I learned that not everything will go to plan, and even though in the moment it may not be pleasant to adapt, in the end, it makes us better people. Thank you, New York FFA, for being the link between my past and my future by giving me this year of service to learn many new things.
Good evening, New York FFA. Wow, what a convention. Congratulations to all of our students who have competed and received recognition over the last 13 days. A year ago, I couldn't have imagined that we would be hosting a second virtual convention. This past year is not what any of us wanted. However, I want to commend all of you for adapting and still taking advantage of what opportunities we did have so that you could continue to develop as individuals. As I sit here tonight from our virtual convention hall, I have a sense of hope and optimism. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just a few short weeks ago, I didn't think we would be able to bring convention to you in this format. I didn't know if we'd be able to recognize your dedication in this way. But as we begin to dig ourselves out of this horrific pandemic that has taken more than 3 million lives worldwide, over 500,000 in the US alone, we can take what we have learned about ourselves during this time and plan for a better future. I couldn't be more proud of our teachers that found new ways to continue to educate and support their students. I couldn't be more proud of all of our students for trying to make the best of a bad situation. I couldn't be more proud of the people behind the scenes that made this event possible. I couldn't be more proud of our student officers who chose to push forward with virtual activities and continue to serve all of us. I want to thank all of our supporters for your continued belief in what we do. Without you, we could not do what we do, which is to provide students with opportunities to better themselves, gain experiences in agriculture, and develop leaders for the future. I want to thank all of our staff for the hard work and dedication they have for this organization. I want to thank our teachers for what they do on a daily basis and for encouraging their students to participate in this year's virtual state convention. Each year, I have the privilege to work with a group of young people that want to serve our members and become better leaders. Each year, I am impressed for different reasons. Each year, I learn something new and have the opportunity to develop special relationships. However, this was no ordinary year. Trying to coach and develop a team from afar was a challenge. What I will remember most about this state officer team and about this year is they accepted the challenge. They adapted, they overcame, they developed trust in me and each other. They became a team even before they had the chance to come together for the first time in the final days of their year of service. They all have their own unique characteristics, but they have been accepting of each other, which is something we should all aspire to do. I am filled with gratitude for having the opportunity to work with all of you this year. As we have said many times, this is not the year any of us expected, but I'm grateful we went through it together. Good luck to all of you. I know that you will do amazing things. Just like our nation, we are at a crossroads. We can either shrink to the challenges we face ahead of us, or we can rise and meet them. If this past year has taught us anything, we can rise to meet them if we choose. I believe we can come out of this stronger than ever and continue to expand our reach. Remember, it is our choice how we decide to face the future. I will leave you with this quote by Abraham Lincoln. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Thank you all for a great convention, and I hope to see you all soon in person.
Wake up, top of the morning, the bacon is crispy. We shall proceed with the degree ceremonies. Madam Secretary, what have you to report concerning candidates eligible for this degree?
I am pleased to submit the names of 102 candidates who have been selected by the State Executive Committee to receive the state FFA degree.
Our Constitution sets up minimum qualifications which must be met before candidates are eligible for the election to this degree. Mr. Advisor, have you carefully examined and reviewed the records of these candidates?
I have, Mr. President, and have found all candidates fully qualified.
We will now proceed to raise these members to the state FFA degree. Will the candidates please rise?
The state FFA degree is the highest degree our state association can bestow. Some of you will one day earn the coveted golden key of the American FFA degree. We urge you to maintain throughout your adult lives the same enthusiasm and dedication that you bring to this ceremony today.
It is a great honor to be nominated for the state FFA degree. It is still a greater honor to be selected for this degree by your fellow members of the New York FFA Association.
Your new achievement brings you greater honors as well as additional responsibilities. You have widened the field of your service and influence in the strengthening of agriculture, the most basic industry of our nation.
You have been urged to advance towards higher degrees in FFA. We commend you for your accomplishments and encourage you to work toward new and higher goals in our organization and in your chosen occupation.
In meeting the requirements of the Green Hand and Chapter FA degrees, you were told that the golden charm of the state FA degree was awaiting you. The bronze emblem of the Green Hand gave way to the silver emblem of the Chapter FA degree, which now has evolved into the golden charm. This is symbolic of growth and development in your chosen occupation. May the permanence of the rare and golden qualities of the emblem be a constant reminder of the strength of your education and the worthiness of your achievement. Therefore, on behalf of the New York FA Association, I confer upon you the state FA degree with its honors and privileges and present to you this charm, the emblem of the degree.
Anthony Manor, Alexandria Bay, FFA. Andrea Patterson, Alexandria Bay, FFA. Weston Schmidt, Beaver River, FFA. Elizabeth Hyman, Belleville Henderson, FFA. Olivia Simpson, Belleville Henderson, FFA. Shannon Simpson, Belleville Henderson, FFA. Rachel Best, Byron Burgeon, FFA. Madeline Pinn, Byron Burgeon, FFA. Haley McHugh, Carthage FFA. Kim Marvis. Cazenovia Aggies FFA. Jennifer Moskovich. Cazenovia Aggies FFA. Jake Tobin. Cazenovia Aggies FFA. Addison Miller. Chateauguay FFA. Christy Padnode. Chateauguay FFA. Cameron Dunlap. Cuba Rushford FFA. Trevor Hawley. Cuba Rushford FFA. Logan Barber. Cuba Rushford FFA. Brett Schaefer. Cuba Rushford FFA. Garrett Decker. Delaware Academy FFA. Jeremy Vandebogert. Delaware Academy FFA. Mackenzie Wilson. Delaware Academy FFA. Sarah Wood. DeRuyter FFA. Tyler Walton. Fonda Fultonville FFA. Austin Lawton. Franklinville FFA. Gordon Martin. Governor FFA. Mackenzie Heath. Greenville FFA. Alex Booth. Indian River FFA. Dakota Dalton. Indian River FFA. Macy Dimon. Indian River FFA. Connor Hull. Indian River FFA. Nathan Jones. Indian River FFA. Adrian Lamora. Indian River FFA. Chastity LeQuay. Indian River FFA. Olivia Leopold. Indian River FFA. Caitlin Lewis. Indian River FFA. Gannon Lynch. Indian River FFA. Hayden Mattice. Indian River FFA. Jared McConnell. Indian River FFA. Liberty Severs. Indian River FFA. Jordan Went. Indian River FFA. Vandana Ramadan. John Bown FFA. Caitlin Broughton. Letchworth FFA. Dominic Forrest. Marathon FFA. Josephine Brundage. Mohawk Valley FFA. Margaret Christensen. Mohawk Valley FFA. Aspen Grizzolini. Otselic Valley FFA. Cody O'Hara. Otselic Valley FFA. Paige Palmer. Otselic Valley FFA. Aaron Howard. Oxford FFA. Madeline Howe. Oxford FFA. Carissa Miracle. Oxford FFA. Troy Marshman. Oxford FFA. Emma Pila. Oxford FFA. Mason Bishop. Penn Yan FFA. Lee Miller. Penn Yan FFA. Connor Moore. Penn Yan FFA. Clark Simmons. Penn Yan FFA. Riley Wolfanger. Perry FFA. Tyler Day. Pioneer FFA. Aaron Fisher. Pioneer FFA. Abigail Heitzman. Pioneer FFA. Grace Hepner. Pioneer FFA. Garrett Keem. Pioneer FFA. Austin Knoll. Pioneer FFA. Cody Knoll. Pioneer FFA. Cameron Owens. Pioneer FFA. Carly Putt. Pioneer FFA. Ryan Ward. Pioneer FFA. Natalie Philp. Randolph FFA. Haley Smith. Randolph FFA. John Koval. Schuylerville FFA. Henry Meter. Sherman FFA. Kayla Yoakum. Sherman FFA. Aubrey Damagala. South Lewis FFA. Courtney Ebersole. South Lewis FFA. Sophia Sabatini. South Lewis FFA. Emily Wright. South Lewis FFA. Rhett Blessy, Springville FFA. Tim Blessy, Springville FFA. Kelsey Foltz, Springville FFA. Kylie Nolan, Springville FFA. Lily Underberg, Springville FFA. Ella Wiersba, Springville FFA. David Allison, Tri-Valley FFA. Kiera Stroop, Tri-Valley FFA. Nathaniel Vinegre, Tri-Valley FFA. Stephen Coffin, Tully FFA. Aurora Drum, Tully FFA. Ty Edinger, Tully FFA. Lauren Grosso, Tully FFA. Catherine Hayer, Tully FFA. Amelia Jaworski, Tully FFA. Cheyenne McCormick, Tully FFA. Devin Fairchild, Unadilla Valley FFA. Brandon Neal, Unadilla Valley FFA. Kendra McGraw, Walton FFA. Madison Hendrickson, Warsaw FFA. Michelle Youngers, Warsaw FFA. Ava Gladdell, Whitman FFA. Emily King, Whitman FFA. Michaela Selvik, Whitman FFA. Amy Smithling, Whitman FFA.
Next, we will hear retiring remarks from our state president, Austin Nolly, about finding your own power.
You may know this next speaker as a role model or someone to shadow, but I know him as more. I know him as someone I can look up to, someone I can always go to, and most importantly, my brother.
He is a fun, energetic person who inspires younger members, individuals, and even teams to come together to set goals and achieve positive outcomes.
I admire his dedication and commitment, hard work in everything that he does. His hard work has paid off with many outstanding accomplishments. I'm extremely proud of the young man that this person has become.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you my brother and your New York State FFA President, Austin Nolly.
This is a baseball. At first glance, it may not look like an ordinary baseball. It has a colorful cover depicting a scene of the Continental Congress stitched together using white string. While it may not be the typical baseball you throw around on a baseball field, it still holds fond memories of my visit to the Pennsylvania State House. The Pennsylvania State House serves as home to some of the most influential events in the history of the United States. As I walked through the front doors, I came upon two large rooms. On the left was a room painted floor to ceiling with white paint, furnished with several desks and chairs, facing one desk and chair in the front of the room. In this very moment, I was standing in the most historical room within the United States. I was overtaken with emotion and pride for my country, as I soon realized the significant events that had happened in that room. The room where George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and countless others took a leap of faith, writing and signing the Declaration of Independence, knowing that they had a long road ahead of them. But this did not matter. They were striving for a new perspective outside of the life they had under the British Crown. They faced mountains of challenges that would take years to overcome, but took it day by day. 11 years later, that same group of men would return to that very room to write the Constitution of the United States, which still serves as our leading document to this day. While we may not be writing historical documents or founding new countries, we are still living in history. We have had to overcome our own challenges over the last year and a half that have given many people a new perspective on their life and new goals to strive for.
While the pandemic may have been looked at in a bad light, there are several positives that many people have not been able to see. Luckily, these positives can be found everywhere we look. One of the places I found these positives was this, a National Geographic magazine. I bet many of you have seen one of these. Every page is populated with pictures and stories from around the world to help give us insight on places we may never get the chance to visit. But rarely do we learn about the full stories behind these pictures. Well, if you're a student in Miss Smith's environmental science class, you may take the time to learn about these stories. As Miss Smith pulled up the TED Talk, I saw those iconic red letters spelling out the word TED on the stage, with a man beside them holding this, a National Geographic magazine. That TED Talk just so happened to be featuring DeWitt Jones, a photographer for, you guessed it, National Geographic. As I began to listen to what DeWitt was saying, I started to connect with him. He was explaining that through his work with National Geographic, he was able to gain perspective on the world around him, all due to a field of dandelions. While on a trip to British Columbia, DeWitt came across a field of hundreds of dandelions. In DeWitt's words, he should have been ecstatic to take pictures. But instead, he made the excuse of the lighting wasn't quite right and decided to leave. 2 weeks later, DeWitt returned to that same field, but this time, those dandelions were replaced with puffballs. At this very moment, DeWitt had two options to choose from. Option one is he could take his situation at face value and accept that he wasn't going to get the pictures he came there to get. His second option was to look at his situation from a different perspective and still find the beauty that was in this field. DeWitt chose to change his perspective of the situation and embrace the change that had come to him. After DeWitt had finished speaking, I sat and listened to what Miss Smith had to say. She explained that over the last few days, it had been tough for her. She missed the way she used to teach her classes and missed seeing her students in her classroom every day. In many ways, I felt the exact same way. I missed the normality of my life. I missed being able to play sports. I missed eating lunch in the cafeteria with my friends. And most of all, I missed being able to attend FFA events, especially because I would be leading those events as a state officer this year. We may have been looking for a field of dandelions this year, only to come across a field of uncertainty and challenge, or in DeWitt's case, puffballs. We, as FFA members, as state officers, as ag advisors, and as parents, have all lived through this pandemic and come across a field of puffballs. You feel at times that you have no control over your situation. You wake up and go through the motions of the seemingly unchangeable challenge that you are in. You feel angry and upset by the feelings of things being ripped away from you, like time with your friends or missing those FFA events. But don't let this stop you. Whether you're taking pictures of puffballs or struggling with the loss of opportunities you feel were ripped away from you, there is always a different way to perceive it. Look at it backwards, inside out, upside down, or any other way that you can. Because the way you perceive your situation is the way that you will act towards your situation. You may walk into experience expecting to take pictures of dandelions only to cross a field of puffballs. But those puffballs can be just as beautiful and just as inspiring as those dandelions. While DeWitt's message gave perspective for my class, it wasn't until I read the noticer before I changed my perspective of this year. Early into my staff year, I was struggling with the outlook that this would not be the experience that I had been working toward and looking forward to for the last couple of years. For several years, I had went to camp and saw how past officers had interacted with campers. This was one of the things I had looked forward to the most. I wanted to be that stud officer who was the first face campers saw once they walked in a sut lift, excited to start their week of camp. I want to stay up way too late roasting marshmallows by the campfire and giving reflections in front of Long Pond to our members. But this was all ripped away from me by the pandemic. Camp was not the only thing that I missed out on. As the year continued, more and more events started to get canceled. WLC, the State Fair, and the State Officer Tour all canceled. At this point, I didn't know where to turn or what I was going to do with my State Officer year. This is when I started to read The Noticer. In this book, a man called The Noticer rebuts the idea that not everything needs to be in our control. He explains that only 8% of our worries are worth concerning ourselves about. The other 92% are just pure fog with no substance at all. This could have been the most important quote of my State Officer year. When worrying about the 92% of things I couldn't control, like the canceling of events, I lost my perspective of why I was here in the first place. I was here to support you, the members, and inspire you to do your very best. Worrying about controlling things has probably happened to all of us. I want you to think of a time where you were worried about something. This may have been a test that has been on your mind for weeks and you don't know how you're going to pass. In that instance, you were worrying about the 92% of things you can't control or that are in your past. You can't go back to those classes you missed or the assignments you didn't turn in. You can't control the questions that will be on that test. When you are worrying about the 92% of things that aren't in your control, you are missing out on the 8% of what you can control, like studying for that test. So the next time you are worrying about something, I want you to think, what is that 8% that I can control? While many of the things are out of our control, you must always try your very hardest to change your situation. In many instances, the people that we use for role models do this very thing. Like my role model, George Washington. Best known for being one of the founding fathers of the United States, our first president, and the leader of the American Revolution. However, from the signing of the Declaration of Independence to his inauguration, there were many things that could have easily ended the American Revolution. But George Washington, and more importantly, his men, did not give up. This is no more evident than a few days after the famous Delaware River crossing. After successfully attacking the Hessians stationed at Trenton, New Jersey, George Washington faced a problem with reenlisting his men. For the past several months, these men have gone without seeing their families or friends, living off very small amounts of water, and even going without shoes. To them, December 31st marked the day that they would be able to see their family again. However, for George, it marked the start of a possible end to the fight for freedom against the British. In dire straits, he pleaded with his men for 30 more days. 30 more days of hardships, struggles, and fighting. To his surprise, many of the men decided to re-enlist into the army, giving up the chance to see their family for the first time in months. 4 long years later, those men would win their independence from the British, creating the country that we now live in today. These men persevered through some of the most challenging times they had ever seen, giving up a stable life with their families and security to fight for our freedom. Their friends and brothers died right in front of them, and they continued to fight on for something they believed in. We have also lost a sense of stability and experiences that we are missing out on. For some of you, this may have been FFA. For others, it could have been dance or science club. But for me, it was sports. From Little League baseball at our town's dusty old fields to Pee Wee bowling, and now on to varsity basketball and baseball, I have always played sports. But like many things, COVID put this on hold for a long time. In fact, for the first whole semester of my senior year, I was walking through the halls, talking with some of my favorite teachers with the same nagging thought in the back of my mind. When was I going to get to play sports again? And then it happened. In mid-January, the news hit that schools could start practicing sports like basketball and volleyball. This was the moment I had been waiting for. While there was still no outlook on how many games we would play, I didn't let this stop me. For the first 2 weeks of practice, I ran up and down the court to the point where I was sweating with puddles below me. I did this all without the promise of games. I went to practice because I loved the game of basketball. I loved to feel the ball grip my hands as I looked at the basket in front of me. I loved walking into the gym every day and smelling the fresh wax of the wood floors right after they had been cleaned. Just like George Washington's troops, I did not give up. I pushed through the unknown to be able to do the things that I loved. No matter what is going on in your life, whether that be struggling to make friends, not doing well in school, or whatever may be affecting you, don't stop pushing yourself. You may be in a bad place today, but where will you be tomorrow, next week, or even next year? If you give up now and just accept the current situation that you're in, saying, I am never going to make friends, or I am never going to get better in school, you will not get out of your situation. I had the same feeling at the beginning of my state officer year. I struggled with the fact that I wouldn't be able to experience the state fair, 212 360, or even hanging out with my state officer team and experiencing a normal state officer year. But now I am talking to you at the very event that I never could have imagined. If you continue to push yourself and never give up, your situation will get better. Sometimes we will face hardships before our situation gets better. Take someone climbing Mount Everest, for example. These climbers will face challenges and obstacles. They will have to cross deep ravines, they will have to climb steep cliff faces, and may even face bad weather. But all of these climbers have prepared. They have climbed other mountains to get mentally and physically ready for their climb. They have resources like food, shelter, tools, and oxygen. While every climber who climbs Mount Everest might prepare the same and have the same tools, not all of them will make it to the top. Only the ones who persevere through their challenges and use the tools to their advantage will reach their goal. So this is what I want you to do. I will give you 15 seconds to grab a piece of paper and a pen. Once you have these items, I want you to write down what tools you will need for your journey. These tools could be friends, family, a mentor, or even a goal to strive for. When striving for your goals, you will face challenges. If your goal is to get a job, you'll have to go through the challenges of going to college and doing interviews. But with the tools and map you have just laid out, you can get through these challenges. Everyone has family and friends that will be there for them and support you through your journey. But only you can climb your mountain. We do not have the power to control the situations that we are put in, or the struggles and obstacles that we will come across during our journey to the summit. At times, you will feel like you are trapped in a box with no way to get out. You will have to climb through blizzards and across ravines, and it will not be easy. But only you had the power. Only you had the power to change your perspective of your situation by focusing on the 8% of things you can control and not the other 92%. You had the power to climb Mount Everest, but only you can do it. No one is going to push you up your mountain or turn those puffballs back into dandelions. All of you watching this right now could be the next DeWitt Jones, George Washington, or even the Noticer. Perspective and perseverance are some of the most important things that you could ever possess in your life. It will get you through a world pandemic or a regular old Tuesday. But no one will obtain these things for you. You are the only one with the power to take pictures of puffballs or reach the summit of your mountain. And I have no doubt that one day you will reach it.
Austin, from your funny laughter to your robotic voice on Zoom, we were always glad to have you join us. This year was not what we all thought it would be. However, we made the best of it. We are all glad to have served with you. Although each of us are our own links, together we are a chain that cannot be broken. Love Triana, Rosie, Paige, Phil, and Sitlali.
Welcome, New York State FFA. It is my pleasure that I get to introduce you to the 96 New York State FFA State Officer Team. These individuals had gone through years of hard work to get to the place they are now. And next year, they will be leading your state association to great things. Please help me in welcoming them now. Molly, as president-elect, you have been selected by your fellow members to be the leader of our state association in the upcoming year. You are therefore responsible in guiding our state association in all of its worthy undertakings. May you work intelligently and seriously to fulfill the responsibilities of your office.
Paige, as Vice President-elect, your record of accomplishments indicate that you have those qualities of leadership which we should all possess. You are to assist the President in directing the work of our state association, preside over meetings in her absence, and keep committees working effectively.
Anna, as Secretary-elect, you have been chosen to keep minutes of our meetings and to carry on the State Association's correspondence. You should also provide our State Association with the order of business and committee assignments each meeting. You will also keep a list of members, a record of degrees awarded, and you will have custody of our Constitution and our bylaws.
Julia, as treasurer-elect, you have been placed in a position of trust. It is your duty to keep an accurate record of receipts and disbursements and to provide a financial report. It is also your responsibility to assist in developing the state association's budget and maintaining sound financial practices.
McKenna, as reporter-elect, it is your duty to inform the public about the FFA. You are expected to work closely with the news media, including state and national FFA publications. You should keep a record of photographs and articles published about the FFA and its members, and be responsible for compiling our FFA history.
Brooklyn, as Sentinel-elect, it is your duty to welcome our friends, care for the meeting room and FFA equipment, and make sure that our guests and members are well taken care of. It is also your duty to help run the meetings and ceremonies.
It is an honor to be an officer in the FFA. From time to time throughout your year, you will face difficult problems, but through cooperation, hard work, and dedication, you will succeed and the FFA will prosper. Do each of you accept the responsibilities of your office, and will you do your very best to uphold the ideals and principles of the FFA? If so, answer, we do. We do. I now declare you installed into the offices that you were elected to. May your year of service be marked with integrity, dedication, and a cooperative spirit. May you find harmony among your fellow officers and set a high standard of leadership for all the members of the State Association.
Thank you to all those who were the link that allowed this organization that we all know and love to have a successful year by staying resilient and adapting to all of the changes that arose. We appreciate all the hard work you put in over the past year.
Wow, what an exciting day. We recognize our CDE and LDE winners, saw our honorary Empire degree recipients, heard our talent showcase, and even recognized our first place National Chapter Award winner, Penny and FFA.
I will never forget the retiring address of our state president, Austin Nolly, who taught me so much about perseverance and perspectives. Good luck to our state-winning junior creed speaker as they represent us at nationals. Thank you all for helping us recognize our parents and advisors, and make sure you do the same. Let's take a moment to thank our supporters like our parents and advisors. All the success of our members this year wouldn't have happened without their support system or fulcrum.
Congratulations to all our Empire degree recipients. We're excited for our 6 new state officers as they lead us forward over the next year. We cannot wait to see where these 6 ladies take this association.
Whether it be in the classroom, on the field, or in your community, we can all be the fulcrum of change for the better.
We as FFA members hold the power to support others. We as FFA members have the ability to support the future of agriculture. We as leaders can be the fulcrum of change.
New York FFA, let this, the 96th New York State FFA Convention, be the fulcrum of change for you and the link to your future success.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have none, Madam President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this, the 96th Annual New York State FFA Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this meeting adjourned.